Okay, running off the truck, you can see we've got our tail lights and flashers on. But on the trailer, we got no tail lights. But come back here, we got the left signal, right signal with no tail lights. So, and I think we're leaning towards the fact that the plug, right now, that's the cheapest thing to replace. So we'll try that and hopefully we get some results. So we'll see here in a second. I'm leaning towards a bad plug or loose connections because I did open it up last week hoping I could just tighten something up and it was nothing but rusty mess. So we're going to go ahead and replace this, and we'll use the 12-volt terminals to check our color coding. We'll start by taking the old plug apart. And just judging by the condition of this, I don't plan on reusing it. As I've stated in other videos, I am a big proponent or fan of the pre-wired molded 7-way plugs. And once this comes apart, you'll understand why. Okay, that should pop out the front. Wow, look at just the sheer corrosion and rust. Green and yellow are left and right in utility trailers. Red and brown are left and right in RVs. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate these old terminals. With this being rusty and corrosion, I doubt we're getting good signal anyways. And we're going to test each wire individually with the ground hooked up to our trailer tester. And hopefully that'll solve the issue with just being something corroded. So the tail light would be brown. Oh, look at that terminal. If we're going by utility wire, brown is tail lights. So that could be the case there. So let's replace this plug. We're going to replace it with, again, a Hopkins is a common. Hopkins and Kurtz are your two main trailer supply vendors. Very similar to what was on there. But first off, we want to test and see what's working, what's not. And just by the sheer, that's the insulation rope. That's how easy that's breaking. Just tells you the age of the wiring. Strip back each of the colors, which is what we need to do anyways. All right, one of the things, remember we just check out our video on how we built this trailer tester. And one of the things that we did specifically for situations like this was make these 12-volt jumper cables or stud terminals. And they have these caps that go on them. There are a couple of washers that you don't want to lose, but I can turn this battery on and it goes through a voltage reducer from 18 to 12. And I'm going to double check so I don't fry anything on the trailer. I get 12 volts. So now I can use my alligator clips and connect one to the ground and one to the black up here and figure out what each wire does. So there's that. And we should get our marker lights with the brown. And we have marker lights, that's good. Let me get my helper to test the other ones. All right, I'm pretty familiar with utility trailer wiring, but we're gonna go ahead and make a list. Brown's the marker, green is the right, and then yellow should be the left. All right, to take the new connector apart, you unscrew that, and there's a little set screw. Sometimes they have 2 set screws. You gotta back them out almost all the way, so make sure you do that. And then I usually take my screwdriver and just gently, so I don't damage anything. If it doesn't come out that easy, then you know you've got your set screws not backed out far enough. Most of them, I don't see why they wouldn't, on the back side of their display or wrapping. So be careful, don't throw this away. There's your wiring diagram and the codes that go with it. So we're going to take a few minutes here and secure all the wires. First thing though that I've learned the hard way is to go ahead and slide the body of the plug back down and be real careful. I'm going to turn that in a couple turns on both of these. When it's hanging down there on the ground and we're moving this cord around, we don't end up losing those set screws. All right, on to this part. All right, so you've got your color code or wiring diagram, and it's got a notch here. I know it's probably upside down on your camera, but you notice the notch. There's actually two on the plug. The notch that's designated is the one on top. And what helped me to designate is that says AX for auxiliary, that says TM for trailer marker lights. So we will start up top with our screwdriver. And you could, like I said, you could use a Y terminal, but this works just as well. Less chance of contact malfunction. Again, now you see why a pre-wired plug might be worth the extra expense. All right, auxiliary on a utility trailer is red. We will figure that out when we get a battery for the winch, if we install one on this trailer, which I think we will. Another tip and trick on this is do not extend too much or strip too much wire, because then you don't have to worry about things contacting where they shouldn't. Left turn is caution side, so that means yellow. There we go. Right turn is go side or green side. Alright, we got brakes and ground. And if you have a 7-wire, the reverse goes into the center, which obviously we're going to leave that open. But I've discovered that you probably want to shorten that wire about a ½ an inch to an inch. Ground wires are a little bit heavier gauge usually, so make sure you get the entire wire into the plug. It might take a couple extra turns of the screwdriver. Oh, forgot that I tightened the screw to prevent from losing it. That's why I'm having trouble.
You headed somewhere this week? Okay. Yeah. Left side?
That just snugs that up. Some have a little clamp. It might have 2 screws. Just depends on the manufacturer. Alright, let's put it in our box, see if it works. Alright, success with the light tester box. So success when we hooked the trailer up to the truck, so that means we had some corrosion and some disconnected wire fragments in here. Everything works like it should now. That just definitely goes to show the value of having yourself a trailer tester box, so we can confirm everything worked before we, potentially, we didn't, but potentially blowing fuses on the truck. So it's a matter of finagling wires and 6 or 7 screws, depending on what features your trailer has. But all in all, I am still a proponent of a molded wire plug. We'd have been underneath here rather than at the plug, so there are advantages and disadvantages of each, but I think it would have prevented this problem from, but again, it's 2023, this is a 2011 trailer, so this is 12 years old, did its job. Just some of the terminals are loose. So hopefully you got something out of this video. If you did, give that a subscribe and hit the like button so you can find out more when we do a couple other trailers this winter and fall. And then obviously we are the Warrior Wood Shop, so you'll see some woodworking projects, safety videos and tips and tricks. So thanks for watching. Go out and make some sawdust.